Warner Brothers games was reportedly on for sale, and then recently another report came out saying that they weren't. Well, the truth is, everything was mixed messaging. They are still likely up for sale. Now, today I'm going to be talking about why Microsoft should buy W Games. And throughout the video, I'm going to go into detail why they should pick up WB Games and why the other reported publishers that want to buy WB Games would not be good for anyone. So, EA, Activision, 2K Games, all interested in WB Games. And the thing is, everyone can see why. A lot of talent, a lot of games, a lot of IP. Maybe on the table at this point. So Activision have a lot of teams around the world every day making Call of Duty content. Their big games, like Call of Duty, can get advertised for months. Adverts everywhere. But any other game didn't. Last generation proved this. So many games they made and sent out never got any advertisement whatsoever. And they had small communities around them, but none of those games got sequels. And to this day, I still see people asking for sequels to games like that. And Activision turned all their teams basically into support studios for Call of Duty. And they would probably do the same here. Activision is all about MVP, minimal viable product. They want to put in as little money as possible to get the most gains. And let's face it, 2K are the same now. They don't want to put out a big Grand Theft Auto every decade now. They want to get more games out now with more microtransactions. And nobody wants that. And 2K basically charge for haircuts in their basketball game, from what I've heard. Now, EA have actually gotten better over the past year. But for the longest time, they were closing down studios left and right, and people had a lot of favourite games made by certain developers just shut down. Out of notice, we've had multiple Star Wars games this generation cancelled, and it continues to happen. But at the end of the day, if I'm being honest, EA have gotten better over the past year, and it's pretty clear why. You know, EA has made a lot of bad decisions over the years, but when it comes to things like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, they just let the team make what they wanted to make, and investors were surprised that a single player game without microtransactions or multiplayer content sold millions. They were surprised. It's what people want. And the truth is, people like Warner Brothers games. This E3, they were meant to have their first E3 presser. It was an exciting time, really, because this was before everything in 2020 went down and everything was looking bright. They were going to have a Lego game there, the Batman game, the Suicide Squad game, possibly Injustice 3, Hitman 3, possibly IO Interactive's new IP, and a bunch of other games. It was exciting that WB Games had got to the point where they were going to be having their own show, possibly every year, having multiple games out every year, because WB Games, they don't put out a lot of product, but when they do, they sell. And you might be wondering, why would they want to be platform exclusive to Microsoft? Well, think about it. After everything I've just said, Microsoft is literally the best publisher right now for that. Because Microsoft lets their teams do what they want now. Teams aren't forced into an IP. Teams aren't forced to make games as a service despite what the FUD is online. The truth is, Microsoft lets these teams make what they want. Now, that comes with a lot of different things. Microsoft has a lot of IP under their belt, but what Warner Brothers has under their belt, Warner Brothers Games, is things like the DC properties, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings games rights, the Lego games. The list really goes on. And the thing is, I don't even necessarily think that Microsoft would actually keep all these games platform exclusive. Some might laugh at this, but the Lego games sell really well. I can see Lego games being like Minecraft. They would still put those games all over the place. Then you have Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is owned by Ed Boon. I really think Mortal Kombat would be one of those games that stays multi-platform. But when it comes to games like DC, Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, I really think those would benefit with Game Pass. A lot of people are discovering new titles and new ways through Xbox Game Pass. Yakuza, Final Fantasy, being opened up to so many new gamers every day. And I always see people online thanking Game Pass and Microsoft for the opportunity to play so many games for such a little price in a time where a lot of people don't have a lot of money. And at the end of the day, people don't want to spend a lot of money on a lot of games. With a new console on the horizon, Microsoft really does need more content than ever before. And Microsoft having a DC property under their belt, exclusive, would sell really well as do well in Game Pass. Because while them buying WB games wouldn't necessarily mean they get the IP, they could license the IPs for DC, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. And I think that would do well for Microsoft. And people were completely fine with Microsoft Studios not having an exclusive Marvel game. But if they had an exclusive DC game, well, that would be pretty cool. But Microsoft is really the best fit, and they literally have the most money to buy them. And Microsoft wants more content, in all the DC properties, Harry Potter properties and Lord of the Rings games would suit being on the platform like that. Game Pass would be ridiculous in size when it comes to content then. And the thing is, people will complain about this video, and they can. But the truth is, I think Microsoft is the best fit, and I've listed why. The other publishers I mentioned just would not do any good for those IPs whatsoever. And I do think that if they bought them today, Batman, Suicide Squad, the Harry Potter RPG, and the next Lord of the Rings game would still go to other platforms first, because those are being made for them, and those deals are already in place. That's just my 2 cents for today. I just want to talk about it because there's different news articles going all over the place, and I just wanted to talk about it. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, please hit like and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, share it out on social media, it really helps the channel out. And I'm really getting back into consistent content, and I'll be posting on Twitter why I haven't been. But the truth is, I'm really getting into the swing of things again. I have a lot of different kinds of content planned, and production value is just going to go up and up every time, and things are getting good on this channel, and I've got a lot of stuff planned, and I just want to make the channel grow. And I just want to say thank you to everyone here for listening. I'm out. I hope everyone has a good day. Peace.